What's up, Empire? Let's talk football. Let's talk Niners. Okay. First and foremost, let's talk draft. But before we do, please like, share, hit that bell for notifications, comment in the box below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, many other places as well, Google Plus, and so on. So let's talk football. Okay, we all know what's going on with Reuben Foster, and a lot of us want to go and draft a linebacker to fill his position. But keep in mind, there's only really one or two that could do that. I do believe that if Tremaine Edwards is available, I do believe that's who we end up getting. I can see in the first round, I can see us going after a Fitzpatrick, a Minka Fitzpatrick, who's an absolute, fits our defense perfectly at free safety. He is your Earl Campbell type. He can cover a lot of space. He's an actual real thumper, a guy that we do need as well in a position of need. Now, but the Reuben Foster situation is this. He's probably going to sit maybe this entire season. Who knows? And remember, the plan isn't this season. The plan is the season after. Now, I would prefer us just to cut his woman-beating, drug-using ass. But I can see where they're thinking about the team. I don't see that. I see us being able to replace him down the road, or at least fill in a position of adequate. Okay, I would love to see us get the Edwards. I'd love to see us get someone of that sort. And he's really the only linebacker I would pick in the first round. If he's not available, then I'd go right after free safety, or I'd go after an edge rusher. Because honestly, I don't see any other linebacker being worth that pick. I think the other best option is what's his name? I can't even remember his name, but he's like 225. Raquan Smith, way too undersized. He's more of a safety type. I mean, he's tart is what he is. He's pretty much like Kotami Tart. Now, in the second round, I think that's where we need to continue building our offensive line. Okay, I think there's a guy that will be available for us by that pick in the second round, and that's Isaac Wynn, or Isaiah Wynn, I think his name is. Isaiah Wynn. He can play just about any position on the line. And he comes in, he fits perfectly, he fits this offense perfectly. He's a solid run blocker, very athletic. He can run down the field. He can pass block as well. And this is very important in the Kyle Shanahan system. Shanahan's going to want to protect Jimmy G. He's going to want to protect him because he knows that if Jimmy has time to throw and his receivers have time to get open, there's a lot going to happen. Then you add in the running back situation with McKinney, who's ideal fit for the Shanahan system. And this offense is already going to be scary as long as they can keep Jimmy upright. Now, which means you're going to put up a lot of points. So it really lies upon that defense to continue getting better. But the good news is we're getting guys back. Eric Armstead's going to be coming off of injury. Buckner's going to be a year better. We're bringing in an actual... I still think getting rid of Demerville was a mistake, but... we got Sherman coming in that secondary. We got guys that are coming back. Jimmy Ward's coming back off injury. We got a lot of talent that's going to come back off injury who's going to fill a lot of holes. We're bringing back a solid special teams unit. We already had a pretty good special teams unit to begin with. So I could see in the second round us really using that type of talent to continue building our offensive line, not just for this year, but for the future. Okay, remember, Staley's getting older. We're getting a few guys that are getting up in age now on that offensive line. So building talent for the replacements is a must. Now, then when you go in and you think the third round, we got 2 picks in the third round. One of those, I believe, has to be Royce Freeman, the running back from Oregon. The reason why I say this is because he has 2 different styles he's ran in college. He's ran the Chip Kelly style with a lot of running, and he shared the ball consistently. He's a threat in the flat. He's proven very talented in that aspect, and he is Oregon's leading rusher. So when you think about LeGarrette Blount, when you think about all the other great running backs, LaMichael James, and all those guys that came out, Jonathan Stewart, and all those guys that came from Oregon, think that Royce Freeman is the guy that's got more yards and receiving yards than any of them. He fits Kyle Shanahan's system to a T. Okay, and he's going to be a third-round pick easy. So I could see us boosting that running back core by adding a Royce Freeman in there, and then nobody's touching that running back core. Suddenly we became one of the greatest shows in football, offensively. I can see us going with that other third-round pick and picking up a guy named Dante Schultz, the tight end from USC, or Stanford, the tight end from Stanford. This guy's huge. He's big. He's proven in the red zone. He's proven to be able to catch as well as block at the line, as well as block down the field. He's actually massive, and if you could get him in that combination with Selleck and Kittles, suddenly Kyle Shanahan has that New England style 3 tight end set that he can run, which is even more potential weapons for that offense. Then when you go to the 4th round, or the next pick, I'm not sure if it's the 4th round, but when you start talking about the later picks, I believe it's simply for filling in holes. You got to get linebacker, you got to pick up another corner, you got to just simply fill holes. Maybe pick up a wide receiver in there, an edge rusher. Pretty much with the rest of the draft, I'm just filling holes and adding depth to who we have. And then when it's all said and done, I'm looking at what's left in the free agency market, who's been cut, and I'm adding what talent we can from there. So I do believe San Francisco is going to be a team to really contend with this year. I know everybody's thinking the Rams in the NFC West, but I think the Rams invested a lot of money in some key spots, but created a few key holes that our roster and the roster that I just made could potentially just devastate. That's my thought. I believe we're going 12-4, 13-3. I think we hit the playoffs. I think we get a couple home field games. I honestly think Philadelphia is going to have a hiccup because a lot of teams have problems going back-to-back years. I can see Minnesota being a decent team this year, but they're going to have a new quarterback. They lost one of their best running backs. They're going to have a problem. Maybe they play with a chip on their shoulder. Who knows? Honestly, I think when it's all said and done, I believe the 49ers will have one of the best rosters in football built. And that's my thought. I'd love to know yours. Comment in the box below. Hit that bell for notifications. Come find me on Twitter, YouTube, Google+, and all that other good stuff. Go Niners. Peace. Talkin out.